All right, so this is going to be another demo for Flip, and we're going to be doing a swimming level. And this is just completely bonus. You don't have to do this, but just once again to give you ideas of things you could potentially put in other games and to kind of show you how this would work. So the first thing you would need to do is you need to make a new level to put this water on. So you should already know if you got to the point in the game where you're making other levels, you should already know how to do that. But a trick that a lot of people don't know or they don't tell you in the presentation is you can see all these levels, they all have these 4 layers on them, and you need to make sure that you have those layers on every level. So you obviously can make the level from scratch, add the layers manually, you'll have to put the parallaxes all in, but if you wanna make sure that that's all set, you could just right click on a level that has all that, and you can click this duplicate button. If you click that, you can see down here it automatically made a level 5, and level 5 looks identical to level 1, but it's got everything I need in it, and I would simply just rearrange, change backgrounds, move things around, things like that. So that's all you would really have to do there. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that one off because I don't actually want it. So then what I did was I had made a bonus level, and you could call it if you want to call it level 5 or whatever. It just depends on how you want to get there. If you're going to make this swimming level a part of your regular game, then it has to be labeled level and then whatever number level it is. But if you want to make like a bonus level, like I called mine level bonus, and then you would just have to make a different way to access it and then take you back to the level that you're on, which you totally could do that. You'd maybe make a special door for it that would take you to this bonus level, and then that special door could take you back to whatever level you should be on, things like that. So you can decide how you want to do that. So I just went ahead and I put together one here already just because I didn't want you to sit and watch me make a level during the video. But you'll notice I did like make a new background. So just a quick little thing that you can do is, especially for just experimenting, if you want to, you can go on Google and just download a sprite. So I just went online and I typed in like beach wallpaper or beach sprite and I found this and I just threw this into my game. So I just downloaded it and loaded it in as a tiled background. Later on for final projects though, you'll want to make sure that you make your own. All right, so here's my basic level. I'm going to make it so Flip starts at the top, and I'm going to force him down into this area here, which is going to be like a water area. Okay, and what I might do really quick is Flip right now could very easily jump and escape my level. So I do want to make sure that I have a wall or a barrier that he can't escape. So I'm going to put this here, uh, this boundary, and I'm going to put that all the way along the top. That way, Flip won't be able to escape because the way mine was set up, he could very easily escape. And then what I want to do is I want to fill this up with water. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sprite. I'm going to call it water. And water is actually a really easy thing to make. You don't really have to draw anything. Oh, name is already taken. So I must have already made a water. So give me 1 second here. Water. Okay, so you'd want to make a sprite called water, and then you'll get something like this. Okay, and what I would do is just pick whatever color you want the water to be. So maybe I'll try this color, maybe a little bit darker like this. Okay, and it doesn't need to have any behaviors. It's just going to be this water sprite. Okay, so it's going to be just like this big square here. I would put it on a layer that makes sense. So we want it on the top, but we don't want it on the HUD. So I would actually recommend making a separate layer for water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a layer at the top called water. Okay, and I'm going to put it just underneath the HUD layer because the HUD should always be on the top. There we go. So we'll leave the HUD layer on top, but now I've added this water layer, and this water is going to be the only thing on that layer. So we're going to go layer water. That way it'll ensure that it's on top of everything else. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drag it and fill up this entire area that we want to have water. Okay, so let's say it goes like this. Okay, and then maybe what I would do is maybe I'll clone it just because of the way my level is set up, that it would look weird just having the water stop there. So maybe I'll do another one that goes like up to here. Okay, so maybe something like this, and they can just overlap. That's not a big deal. Okay, so we could just do something like this. And I might have it overlap the ground even a little bit there too. Okay, so I've got that. And then what you want to do is obviously it's really weird that it's this big solid block on top of everything. So I'm going to highlight my water from the project window up here on the right. And then on the left side, I'm going to change the opacity. So right here, there's opacity. So opacity is how transparent it is. So 100% means it's solid, it's opaque. That means you can't see through it. So let's say I change this to like 50%. Okay, now you can see that I can see through my water and I can kind of see what's going on behind there. And you can adjust that if you want to. So now if I were to run this, whoops, run this game really quick. Because I put the water layer on top of the main, it'll look like Flip is behind the water. And what's cool is that color will actually cover everything up. See, I can go in, and that color's in front of him, so it looks like he's under the water. Okay, so we've got that. Now to make this look a little bit better, I'm going to introduce you to something called effects. And effects are basically visual effects we can add to things. So right here on the left side, it's like adding a behavior or instance variable. There's just the word effects. I'm going to add an effect to my water, and it just so happens there's an effect called water. Okay, and so you'll see it'll kind of get all wavy and look weird. When I run the game, it'll actually wave like water. Give it a second here. So there you can see it's like moving around. Okay, so we've got that going on there. Now you can see on the left side here, it's kind of going off. You know, some of it's getting covered up and not. So I would say what we would do to be smart, and we'll be smart here so that my Flip doesn't keep dying right away. I have an archer sitting up in the corner that I really shouldn't have up there, so I'm gonna just get rid of him really quick. So let's just hold on. I gotta zoom in and get rid of this archer, and I've got too many things in the way right now. So let's see if I can just grab the archer. There we go. Get him off of there. Okay, so see here how it like some of this isn't covering all the way. So the safe thing is just stretch it really long so that you don't have that odd issue there. And I would do the same thing here. I'm going to stretch this a little bit, and I'm going to stretch this a little bit so that they really overlap the sides there, and that looks pretty good there. Okay, so now that has the water effect on it. So now that's all in there, and that's looking good. Okay. Then I also highly recommend once you have this set that you want to lock the water layer down, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to like click these bananas here that are behind. So you definitely don't want to be messing around and moving it. So I definitely lock that down, and then you should be good to go. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to make it so Flip can swim. So I'm going to go to my event sheet, and it would probably just go in the Flip controls group. So let's see, yeah, right here. Okay. So basically what I want to do is I want to make it so he like feels like he's in water. So I'm going to actually kind of mess with his fall speed. So I'm going to add an action here, and basically these water events are going to be triggered when he's overlapping the water. So I'm going to say Flip is overlapping another object. We're going to say when he's overlapping the water. Okay. All right. So when he's overlapping the water, I'm going to change his fall speed. So I'm going to do Flip fall speed. I'm going to set his max fall speed. And let's go to like 300. Because right now I think his default fall speed is like 1,000. So then what I can do is I can just make another event, and I can invert this one. So then when Flip is not overlapping the water, I'm going to set his fall speed back to 1,000 so that he'll fall. So basically you have to, when he enters the water, you have to have a bunch of overlapping events, but then you also have to say not overlapping, because otherwise he'd enter the water, and then when he leaves, he'd keep all those settings. So we have to do this when he's not overlapping to set that back. Okay. Then all that we have to do is on this event where he's overlapping the water, I'm just going to add a sub event to this. And I'm going to do keyboard. And I'm going to say on key pressed. And we're going to say up arrow. Okay. And then we're going to do flip. We're going to do set vector y to -300. So this is like the same event that makes Flip bounce off the knight. If you did that event, we did Flip set platform -300 on vector y. That was to make him go up. So remember, y value when you go up, it's a negative number. So what we're doing is every time we press up, he should go up, and that should cause us to swim. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this on the next video because I just hit my limit here, but we'll talk about it more, and I'll finish the swimming on the next one.